Um, that's fantastic. Yes. Okay. So the reason we got Pearl, the second cat, was because I grew up with dogs, and I got really bummed. And Damien and I at the time were working opposite shifts, and I was really bummed because I didn't have something that was happy to see me when I came home. For lack of a better term. And the dirty cat at the time wanted nothing to do with me. So I was like, Damien, I need something that likes me. That likes me. And Damien's like, whatever. And I was like, no, the cat hates me, Damien. So he's like, fine. We'll get you a cat. And he goes, but this is going to be your cat, and you're going to take care of it. And we're not going to talk like you have to bathe it and you have to do the thing, and I'm not going to touch it, and it's going to be your thing. So it gets attached to you. And I was like, cool. And at the time we were watching a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean. Cause I think the 4th or 5th or whatever. Oh gosh. The 5th Pirates movie had just come out on home video, like streaming. So we did a Pirates of the Caribbean marathon where we watched like all 5 movies together. So I was very piratey, and I was like, I got it. We're going to get a black cat, and I'm going to name it Pearl so it can be the Black Pearl. And Damien's like, sure. And I was like, or it could be white. I'm going to name this cat Pearl. And he's like, fine. So we go to the shelter. Not a black or white cat to be found. But I did find this little gray puffball weirdo that was very cute and very playful. And I was like, it looks a little weird, but I do like this cat. And then we viewed every other kitten in the entire joint, and then came back to this one cat, and I was like, I think this is the cat. It was my Pearl cat, but I was really bummed because I was like, well, I wanted to name it the Black Pearl, but it's a gray cat, and I was like, it's not the same. And then Damien's like, well, you could name it something cute like Pearl, Purrl, and I was like, oh, that is cute, and I do kind of like the name Pearl. Okay, so we took the cat home. Let me pull pictures here. I have picture documentation. So we took the cat home, and she was so stinking cute. My Pearl cat. I adore her immensely. But she started doing this thing, and I couldn't figure it out at the time, but she would constantly curl up on my shoulder like a parrot. Here we go. Here's the picture. And I couldn't figure out why this cat was all up in arms, had to sit on my shoulder. That's all this cat wanted to do. So I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, we should name this cat Jack. And he goes, why? And I go, we named the monkey Jack. So I was like, we named the kitty Jack. But she was so stinking cute. She was very much a mama's girl, even from then. She has the biggest feet still to this day. I mean, but look at these giant feetses. This cutie patootie. And then the problem is Pearl would get really, really riled up, and she'd be like running all over the apartment, and we'd have to put her in the bathroom to like calm down. So then I made a sign for our bathroom that said Davy Jones's kitty locker, because she'd be going crazy. And I'm like, well, it's the locker for you then. And then I'd shove her in the bathroom to calm down. So we had Davy Jones's kitty locker. And this was a one bedroom apartment. So there was like the living area, the bedroom, and the bathroom. That was it. And it made a circle, so she would run laps unless we closed the bathroom and put her in timeout. And at one point, this Dirty figured out that of the two doors for the bathroom, one of them didn't quite latch all the way, so you could push it open. So Dirty would start letting Pearl out to play while we were at work, because we wanted to keep them separate so they didn't eat each other's food, because Pearl had kitten food and Dirty had special food at the time. So then Dirty just kept letting Pearl out, which was extra rude. And then I was just like, fine. Here we go. This is when I put Pearl in a shark costume. To time her out, to try and get her to slow down. It did not work. It only made her more riled up. She didn't want to be alone, which was funny because Dirty also like just wanted nothing to do with this cat. All right, last picture. Here you go. This is my Pearl cat in our apartment when we first got her. And she loves laying like this, and she still does to this day. This is her when she's 5 at our house. Jailbreak! It's true. It's true. I absolutely adore this picture of her. All right. There we go. All the kitty pictures. Excuse me. All right, let's see here. Do your cats ever hide so you can't find them? I mean, they hide and I can't find them, but they don't usually like hide to get away, if that makes sense. Like, they're usually just tucked away somewhere, and then it turns out that I can't find them. They don't usually hide on purpose. Generally speaking. Do you know what I was going to do? I was going to pull up a pattern to knit. And I still haven't. All right, let's do that. Here you go. We named the monkey Pearl. Knitting. There we go. Okay. Hydrate. You can knit. No one would know from the stream so far. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of talking. How are y'all? What are y'all up to this weekend? It's a holiday weekend. Does anyone have any fancy plans? Today is the first Ohio State football game of the season. Just want to throw that out there. It's very important that all of you know this. Mostly that Damien knows this. My fancy plans are this stream. I'm your fancy plan. Boo, OSU. You leave my team alone. My friends. I'm cleaning. And do essentially a corner to corner shawl for this big old rectangular squish shawl. I get to go to Ren Fair again. Are you going today or tomorrow, Brave? Seeing in-laws on Monday, that'll be nice. Banned. She's not kidding. Watching OU beat UTEP? Is that Oklahoma? Or, somebody else? Boomer sooner. I threw out this scary jute weaving in my porch. Inka will be brokenhearted. Brokenhearted. Any team pretentious enough to correct people to add the to their name deserves 50 out of 50 seasons with the upswing on the weeks before playoffs. Stop it. We do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. Honestly though, I'm just the biggest fan of the marching band. Love me some Ohio State marching band. The best damn band in the land. Also, we know we fumbled right before playoffs enough. We know. You don't need to tell us. It's already a problem. It could be worse. You could be a Texas fan. Stop it. We don't say that T word here. It's terrible there. They're playing Notre Dame today, which is another school that's near and dear to my heart. I didn't know Ohio had been sucking lately. Art and Craft, we have a tradition here at Ohio State. Ever since we got rid of Jim Tressel ever since Jim Tressel stepped down, I should say. Ohio has this really great problem where we do really well all year and then just fumble at playoffs. So we keep getting to playoffs and then immediately playing the worst game we have played all season. And I hate it. And I'm just like, what happened? So that's a thing that we do. Why? I couldn't tell you. But we sure do it a lot. It's like Nebraska, they play awesome for the first half and then hand over the win. Yes. Like, and I can't figure out why. Like they compulsively can't stop doing it. Rainbow Brights, it could be worse. You could be a Kentucky fan and they play on that giant field of all blue. And I hate it. It makes me cross-eyed every time I look at that AstroTurf. Where's that meme? Which one? Brave, do you have your outfit for Ren Fair tomorrow all set? Or is today finishing touches day? Indiana fans shaking hands with Ohio fans over hating Kentucky. I feel like that's the Midwest is that way about most of the southern schools though. I think it's haunted too. It would have to be. It's too ugly not to be haunted. I just hate football. Huntress, it's okay. So does Damien. Damien does not sports ball. So every fall, I have to warn him of upcoming football games so he can be like, great. World of Warcraft night. It's where all the bad colors go to die. Short round. Thank you for the $10. Yes, my sister. I believe I need to, I believe I could put something on my arm if you so choose, according to our incentives list. I have a request. What's the request? Oh no. Here it goes. Rainbow Brights, you and I will bond over football. Shake the dust. I sure will. I sure will. I love me some Anise. Here we go. Look, it's a tiny purple patch. Oh. Uploaded to general Discord. All right. Let's boop. Aww, this is the cutest. This is so cute. I love it. I love it. Let me see. Oh, I was just gonna... Ginger Zone's so good for me. Ginger Zone is so good for me. I was just gonna ask if you had a video of it. Hang on. Shake the dust. I'm gonna see if we can play it real quick. So this is a spoken word poet. Oh, this is the video of Heavy and Light. Ginger Zone and I were here. Okay, hang on. Hang on. I'm gonna write this on my arm. And we're gonna play this poem real quick. This was our first Heavy and Light. We were here. All right, here we go. Transition. Boop. Full screen. We'll play this. This is a beautiful spoken word poem. This is a beautiful spoken word poem. You're gonna love it.
right here, this is for the fat girls. This one is for the little brothers. This is for the schoolyard wimps and for the childhood bullies that tormented them. For the former prom queen and for the milk crate ball players. For the nighttime cereal eaters and for the retired elderly Walmart store front door greeters. Shake the dust. This is for the benches and the people sitting upon them. For the bus drivers driving 1,000,000 broken hymns. For the men who have to hold down 3 jobs simply to hold up their children. For the nighttime schoolers and for the midnight bike riders trying to fly. Shake the dust. This is for the 2-year-olds who cannot be understood because they speak half English and half God. Shake the dust. For the boys with the beautiful, beautiful sisters. Shake the dust. For the girls with those brothers who are going crazy. Those gym class wallflowers. And the 12-year-olds afraid of taking public showers. For the kid who's always late to class because he forgets the combination to his lockers. For the girl who loves somebody else. Shake the dust. This is for the hard men who want love, but know that it won't come. For the ones the amendments do not stand up for the ones who are forgotten, for the ones who are told to speak only when you are spoken to, and then are never spoken to. Speak every time you stand so you do not forget yourself. Do not let one moment go by that doesn't remind you that your heart beats 100,000 times a day and that there are enough gallons of blood to make every one of you oceans. Do not settle for letting these waves settle and for the dust to collect in your veins. This is for the celibate pedophile who keeps on struggling, for the poetry teachers and for the people who go on vacations alone, for the sweat that drips off of Mick Jagger's singing lips and for the shaking skirt on Tina Turner's shaking hips, for the heavens and for the hells through which Tina has lived. This is for the tired and for the dreamers. For those families that will never be like the Cleavers with perfectly made dinners and sons like Wally and the Beaver. This is for the bigots, for the sexists, for the killers, and for the big house jail sentenced cats becoming redeemers. And for the springtime that somehow seems to always show up after every single winter. This is for you. This is for you. Make sure that by the time the fisherman returns, you are gone. Because just like the days, I burn at both ends. And every time I write, every time I open my eyes, I'm cutting out parts of myself just to give them to you. So shake the dust and take me with you when you do, for none of this has ever been from me. All that pushes and pulls and pushes and pulls, it pushes for you. So grab this world by its clothespins and shake it out again and jump on top and take it for a spin. And when you hop off, shake it again. For this is yours. Make my words worth something. Make this more than just another poem that I write, more than just another night that sits heavy above us all. Walk into it. Breathe it in. Let it crash through the halls of your arms like the millions of years of millions of poets, coursing like blood, pumping and pushing, making you live, shaking the dust. So when the world knocks on your front door, clutch the knob tightly and open on up and run forward into its widespread greeting arms with your hands in front of you, fingertips trembling, though they may be.
It is okay to be so stressed.
Okay, that was an ad. All right, there we go. That's Anis Mogani, who is one of my favorite spoken word poets ever. There we go. Shake the dust. Boop. That was good. It was real good. That year for Heavy and Light, every time they had a band come out, so they'd have a band come out and perform like 3 or 4 songs, and then they'd have Anis go out and perform a poem, and while they were resetting the stage, and then they'd do it, and it's beautiful. It was so good. Where can I find that? I'll post the link here real quick for you, Yarnho. I'll post the link. Things are happening. Letters and a 92 acceptable Lex. An 82 acceptable Alex. Hello. There we go. Can you post that on Discord? Yes, I'll post it in Discord. Also, the link is here. And I will also put it in general. Happy to do so. But one of the shirts in the shop says "Shake the Dust," and so it says "Shake the Dust," and then on the inside of the back of the shirt, the poem's written, and I love it. So there you go. We are raising funds for To Write Love on Our Arms today. That was actually, so I was in the audience that night. That was the very, very, first Heavy and Light that we ever went to. It was the night before my birthday. So at the end of the night, I turned 21. And it was very fun. And then the next day, my friends threw me, my 21st birthday party, and they had, made me a cake. Here we go. I have a picture of it and everything. Boop. There we go. My good friend Laura made me a love cake that we used whatever candles were left over from her house. Yarnho, it's exclamation mark shirt takes you to the shirts. So that was last year. Nice, Sturgis. Nice. Decidedly not. It's been a while. Also, Sturgis, how are you doing, my dude? Hope you're doing well. We're fundraising today for charity that I absolutely adore. Acceptable Alex, thank you for the $50 donation. I appreciate it immensely. How are you, my dude? Meep. I believe $50 gets you a story time. Is there a story you would like to hear? Oh, I know what story. Unless you have a story you'd like to hear, I'm going to tell you all the story about my 21st birthday where we made a tasty Stacy. So for my 21st birthday party, we were like so everyone was hanging out. So these were all the college kids I had grown up with. We were a very close-knit group. And it was funny because like everyone, I was one of the last people to turn 21 of the group. Everyone was about a year to two older than me. I was kind of at the tail end a little bit. And for their birthdays, for their parties and stuff, a lot of them had like made drinks or found a favorite drink. And I was like, I've never really drank before. I don't really know what I like. So they're like, well, so for that evening, I said, I'll drink anything y'all want to make, but I won't have the same drink twice. And then they're like, you know what we should do? We should make you a drink, like invent a drink for you. And I was like, okay. So one of the group's parents had sent them with a bottle of SoCo just for the group. Like, here you go, have fun. I know y'all are broke. And one of them had given me a bottle of Malibu coconut rum because they're like, this is my favorite drink. I think you'll really like it too. And of course it did because coconut rum's delicious. So we all started the evening out with oatmeal cookie shots, which is Bailey's. I think it's Bailey's, SoCo, and then Goldschlager, and it tastes like an oatmeal cookie. So we set about to create a drink, and we're like, well, it should have the SoCo and the Malibu rum in it because that's the presents that I got, So the shot's half Malibu rum, half SoCo with a Goldschlager floater. And it's actually not too shabby. It's a very light, it's a very blonde drink. Because I think we decided it should be blonde in color because I was blonde and I was especially blonde at the time. And so it was funny because the guys were like trying different combinations, so they were getting like super trashed while I'm sitting there watching them, which was funny. And then so as the night got on, my friend John, who was making the drinks, the proportions got a little out of whack. So if it had too much rum, it became a Malibu Stacy instead of a Malibu Barbie. And if it had too much SoCo, it was called a Wasty Stacy. And if it was just right, it was called a Tasty Stacy. So there we go. We made a drink. Moist, hello, my dude. Sturgis, do not worry. As always, I said this earlier, I'll say it again. If y'all have the funds, I highly recommend directing them here. To Write Love on Our Arms does great work. If not, as always, number one goal is to make sure that you take care of yourself first. And that you do what you need to do financially. So don't you worry. But I do immensely appreciate the host. When you took the first sip, first I was like, is it supposed to taste like this? And then I was like, oh, that's actually pretty good. Pretty good, as it turned out. Here we go. I have a bonus picture of that night. So this was the first time that Ginger Zone and I hung out, where Ginger Zone had her permit and I had my license. So here is the very first time that Ginger Zone was a designated driver. Yeah, that was on the way to the party. It was great. Bonus picture. I see you open your third eye while I was gone. Yes. The stream has entered a new plane of consciousness. We're enlightened. Thank you very much. And we're also finally knitting. 2.5 hours into the stream. Gee, thanks. Oh, so lovely. It's fine, Ginger. No one knows who you are. It's not like it's on the internet or anything. Also, I think that's the first time I've ever shown a weird picture of you, which I think shows a lot of restraint on my part, considering I've been streaming for 2.5 years and I haven't just flooded the internet with weird pictures of you as your big sister. I'm just saying. Girl, that yarn is knitting up beautifully. Thank you. I'm liking how it's turning out so far. So I'm doing a little, hang on, let's get this. Let's do a little glamour shot. Ooh, ah. So it's going to be a rectangular shawl on the bias. And it's going to be all stockinette with this garter stitch border. It's just going to be a big old shawl like this, but 100 times bigger. Boop. Hinka, you're going to meet up with Moist? Are you going to Ren Fair? Or y'all just having a funsy time together. Everyone is here. Everyone is here, Hinka. It's a party. When your partner isn't sub, so you have to have a stream on your phone for when ads pop up. I did readjust the ads. So so Twitch announced that they're doing the ad revenue share. So I had started doing it, but it hadn't kicked in yet. So I unadded the channel. But now I have the offer again. So starting, I think on Thursday's stream, we do have increased ads for the channel, but we're actually getting revenue for it. So we're gonna give it a try again. And same thing, I'll keep it on for a couple weeks. If I see a big boost in the channel, then I'm gonna leave it, because it's a great way for y'all to help support the channel without paying any money. I know it kind of sucks, but it is a free way to support the channel. And if we aren't seeing any, if it's not really doing any good, then I'll take them away again, because I don't want to make you guys watch ads so Twitch can make money. I only want to make you guys watch ads if like the stream, if it's supporting the stream. So we'll try it out again. We're gonna give it the old college try again. Hinka, do you know what I just realized? I just realized that Acceptable Alex's donation pushed us over. And we've hit our $750 goal. So Hinka, when you and String come to Florida, we're doing a streamy stream together. A stream. Also, that means we're halfway to our goal, which is fantastic. Yes. Stitch. We could do a Stitch and Bitch stream. We could also do you, me, and String all doing like a Mario Kart stream on the Switch, or both. So we'll have to start planning out what kind of stream y'all want to do when you get here. Because I think we were going to try and do like a craft night stream with the three of us, but I think we're also going to have to do a gaming stream or combine them. So start thinking what you want to stream while you're here. So our next milestone is Huntress's favorite, the Dead by Daylight stream. If we don't get to this one, that's okay, guys. I won't be mad. It's fine. Not gonna be mad at all about this one. And then at 1,250, we have our brioche tutorial, where I do everything you ever needed to know about how to knit brioche. If we hit our $1,500 goal, we're gonna do the World of Tanks stream, which I hate, but we're gonna do it because y'all had a fun time with it the last time. And if we somehow shoot even further than that, we're gonna do a miniature building stream. And you know what? When we get there, we'll start talking about that a little bit when we get closer. Little closer. And then we also have our incentives as things pop up. And I don't want to spoil anything, but a little birdie named Rainbow Brights donated a $25 Etsy gift card, which will be our next giveaway the next time we have a $100 or more donation. If you don't want some Etsy supplies. Just saying. Word on the street. Jay, hello. How's it going? We are doing our Trait Love on Our Arms charity stream. Need more coffee. I'm almost there. We'll go a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna have to take a break. A break. Also grab a snack. Get a snack. I'm doing great. Last week I was out with COVID and I was dying. And then this week I am back, finally feeling back to normal. So I still have a little bit of Phoebe Buffet, sexy, smelly cat voice, but apart from that, doing good. I knew I forgot something when I grabbed my food. Coffee. Hydrate. I will do that. Thank you. Have a little bit of water cut with some cranberry juice. Looks a little blood of my enemies. But it tastes great. But it tastes great. I've somehow managed to dodge COVID, never had it when my brother did. Damien and I had dodged it up until this point. And then we got it hard. So we both have a bit of a cough and the gravel voice. Damien's is all in his sinuses, and mine was definitely all in my chest. Peach Bug, hello! Thank you for the raid. How's it going? Hello, raiders. How are y'all? Give everyone just a second to get in case they have an ad. Peach Bug, what were you doing? My project looks lovely. Thank you. So we're just starting it out. We're gonna knit a big old squishy blanket shawl out of this hand spun that I made myself. Crocheting a lion. Ooh. That sounds very fun. Let me get you a shout out. Fellow crafter, heck yeah. And I will check you out. Hey, after stream. Welcome on in, gang. How's it going? Hope everyone's having a lovely weekend. We are doing our charity stream. We are currently raising money for Trait Love on Our Arms, which is a charity that's very near and dear to my heart. They do tons of good work, specifically centered around mental health. Specifically for folks struggling with depression, addiction, and self-injury. And this is a charity stream to help them out. Because all the donations help make it possible for folks to find free and reduced cost mental health services, as well as substance use disorder care, and they also have a treatment and recovery scholarship program. So, as always, for folks coming in, if you are not financially able to give, I get it. If you have a charity you've already donated to this year, I get it as well. I always want everyone to take care of themselves first. But if you have some disposable income, I highly recommend helping out a very good cause who's helped me a whole lot. Stress buying a plant, what to get? Dragon garland, hello. A peacock fern. Ooh. I couldn't tell you. I kill plants too quickly to become attached. Although, Punk Pixie, if you're still here, those 2 plant clippings that you gave me when I went to Minnesota are sitting on my windowsill and they're doing so good. I haven't replanted them yet. But they're living their best life, and I feel like I should just let them be a little while longer. That purple heart plant is thriving. I have to show you guys a picture. So when I went to the last time we were at Disney, and I went to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I showed a picture with the group. I'll have to show you guys. I had to do like a triple take. I couldn't believe it. So this plant, all this purple here is one of those plant cuttings that Punk Pixie gave me. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's the plant that's on my windowsill right now. I was so excited. I was like, it's here in Florida in the wild. It means it could still live. It has a chance, guys. My pothos is I think it's on its like 5th or 6th leaf. I think your purple heart is growing faster, but I think my pothos is growing faster. It's a tough one. Both of them are tough ones, which are why it gives me hope. Next time I'll give you a clip of my fiery Kate. Yes. I want to grow my own purple ecosystem. I mean, who doesn't? Also, fun fact, that purple plant's leaves are fuzzy. So I also just like walking over and petting it. Makes me very happy as well. And most importantly, the pothos is animal friendly as well. Moist Slenderman, thank you for the $25 donation. How's it going, my dude? Now that I'm finally knitting, I do have the incentives where y'all can make me switch projects. Or I could add more eyeballs. Is there an incentive that you would like? I do have like 8 other knitting projects here next to me if y'all wanted to make me switch, which I thought y'all would get really on board with. But I think y'all like this purple too much, which I'm very thankful for because I like it as well. I know what it's called, but might not be okay for stream. Huntress, just say it. I think my next plant purchase will be a giant snake plant for the corner. Are you going to raffle the shawl when it's done? Hell no. This is mine. No. This is going to be my blanket shawl for at work for when I get too cold in the meetings. So I'm gonna finish this row, and then we do need to make a decision. No, this shawl, I've been spinning this shawl since June. So we just finished spinning it. And I'm in love. Had to, I know. So here's the question. Is it thick enough to be warm enough, or should we go down a needle size? Because I like it. It's nice and drapey, but I'm worried, is it too drapey? Should we get it a little thicker so it's a little warmer? Because I also have 1,000 yards of this. So this thing is going to be big. But I kind of feel like maybe we should go down to size 3s instead of size 4s. Because I like it, but it's fairly thin, and I want it to be really warm and squishy. And I feel like maybe that's just a little too much, a little too thin. I think we might go down a needle size. How many thicks are we talking about? It's only two. It's only maybe 1C. 1C, maybe 2Cs. It's not, I feel like it's not thick enough. Go thicker. 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 I'm so stoked I found the equivalent of a wearable blanket at a thrift store. Yes, that's what I want to make, is a wearable blanket. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's commit. If we're going to spend the next, I don't know, bajillion years knitting this, we're going to make it exactly how we want it. Oh, did my yarn felt to itself? What's going on here? Honey, what's this? What's happening? There we go. I loathe when yarn felts to itself. Because it's hand spun, I kind of expect it. Also, it's really fuzzy. So it kind of sucks, but it's not surprising. Also, I want to save every possible inch of this. So I'm like very invested in taking my time frogging this properly. So more like a 2.5. I feel like 2.5 would be too thick. Because I also want it to be pretty big. I was waffling between 3s and 4s, but I went with the 4s. And next time I just need to listen to my heart. Oh, weird. How do we get here? Oh, too felted. All right. That's fine. I can lose 6 inches of it. Now you know 4's in it or no. That's right. They have palms. My sister's going to have my head. I don't think a whole palm is a comfort plant. That's like getting a child. Yeah, because this is the difference between the 3s and the 4s. But I feel like between the 3s and 2.5s would be too much. A palm's, it's like, it's gonna weigh as much as a small child. Bun Games, hello, thank you for the follow. Thank you for being here today. There's a fiddle fig. I mean, now you're talking my language. Crazy how 0.25 makes a big difference? Yes. I'd probably say something witty like, I don't know, math. It doesn't cry like a kid, and you can put it outside and time out just fine. Swatching is a good thing? Yes. And if it was more complicated of a pattern, I would have made a swatch first. But just redoing the corner on a shawl isn't too bad. Isn't too bad. This is why we swatch. Can you try a ponytail palm as a plan? I don't know what a ponytail palm is. I'm really the wrong person to be asking because you're like, I'm getting a comfort plant. And I'm like, great, something else to watch die. It's pot size and it'll keep it to the size you like. Oh, that's nice. So it'll never get bigger than whatever pot you put it in. Is it called the goldfish effect? Goldfish get as big as the pot or as big as the bowl you put them in. But you know, plants, which I know absolutely nothing about. Any plant will stay as much nutrients are available size. But some start, I feel like they start to do not great. Like when the roots get too pot bound kind of deal. What Discord link? Let's look. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. Like, this is the appropriate size of a palm. I could do this. That's too big. My cats would eat it. This is too much. This palm's being extra. This palm is being just right. Ponytail palm. I'm going to have to remember that. Sized it up a couple times. I could do that. I could do this one. This one I could do. Some of those other ones, though. No. I'm still also trying to get Damien to get me a fig plant. Someday. And gifted it to my Aunt Sarah in Punta Gorda, Florida. That palm looks like it would enjoy Florida very much. Aunt Sarah planted it in their front yard. It's huge now. I bet. Dak, hello. We are making our big old blanket shawl for me for at work. We started knitting it, but I felt like it wasn't thick enough, so we sized the needles down. We're trying it again. I'm 55. I know we got it when I was in high school. Plants live forever, man. Literally forever. Are you going to try and make Damie wear a fig leaf? No. No. The sideways one? Yes. Yes, yes. On the bias. We'll knit a couple more rows, and then I'm going to take my break here. Get some more coffee. You grab a bit of soup. We're going to buckle in. Buckle in. I want the figs to eat. Coffee and fresh figs are the best drink food combo ever. Ever. But it's very hard to find fresh figs down here. They're only available like 3 weeks out of the year, I swear. And they're hella expensive. Super worth it. So I'm like, I should just buy a fig plant and then I can have all the figs. But it's a tree and I haven't been able to find one yet. But apparently it doesn't mind being potted. It likes being a potted tree. You just gotta get a really big pot. Which sounds like it would really like my patio. Need me a brown turkey fig tree. Cough, Damien, cough. He's not listening. He's playing World of Warcraft. We just got a little cilantro plant and I haven't killed it yet. Our basil, we had a Thai basil and a mint plant that were doing great. But then I got another plant and the other plant had aphids. And so all three were infested because they were all on the same windowsill. And I tried to put them outside to see if the bugs would get to them, but it just killed the plants. It's Florida in the summer. And that's when I learned all new plants have to be in quarantine before we introduce them to other plants. New rule. Not doing that nonsense again. White oil. We had tried it and it didn't work. All the love halfway to 1,500 in 3 hours. It's true, Dak. We're doing fantastic. We've already gotten our first 3 milestones. We're working towards that Dead by Daylight stream. Sergeant Major Skills, hello, good morning. How are you, my dude? Happy time zone. We're gonna just a few more rows and then I'm gonna take a break. I need more coffee. I need a snack. Also got pee. Guaranteed to be alive. Yes, ladybugs eat aphids. A lot of things eat aphids. Unfortunately, none of them ate the aphids faster than the Florida heat killed the plants. Was the problem. Because they were also like the soil was infested. You had to throw the whole thing away. But what eats ladybugs? Nothing. Why would they eat ladybugs? That's not true. I'm sure plenty of things eat ladybugs. I've never heard of a ladybug infestation. So I feel like that's usually not the problem. Man bugs? Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. If I wanted bad jokes, I'd watch Damien's stream again. Oh, hi, Damien. I didn't realize you were still here. So did you switch out the needles? Yes. We went with a smaller needle size to make it thicker. Because I want it to be real squish. And nice and warm. So there we go. So it's a little thicker. But that's fine. Because it's also squishier. Boop. So smaller needle means thicker. Yes. Yes, yes. Because the stitches are tighter. Which means it'll also be warmer. All right, so let's do this. We're going to take a break. It's going to be slightly longer break. Oh, just kidding. Not yet. There we go. Sorry, gang. It's going to be a slightly longer break. Because I needed to get something to eat. And then we're going to come back and we're going to watch a quick video about to write love on our arms. And then we're going to keep knitting. And I'm just going to stay here until y'all get sick of me. Spam them now and get them out of your system because I don't want them when I come back. How about that? All right, guys, get up and stretch. Make sure y'all are taking breaks as well. And then we're going to come back and we're going to keep going. We're not stopping anytime soon. So I'll see you guys probably in about 10 minutes. We'll say 10 minutes. Hey gang, I'm back. I have some soup, some crackers. Don't be a yarn over. Oh geez. Is this what it's come to? Just all knitting puns? My soup. So we're gonna watch 2 videos here real quick. We're gonna watch the intro video for To Write Love on Our Arms. Or their mission video, I should say. And then I have another Anis Mogani spoken word poem, since you guys liked him so much the first time around. While I stuff my face with soup. 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 How's that sound? That sound good? Y'all can watch me, not watch me sip soup. Sip soup. White cheddar noodles. What? That sounds delicious. Hold please. Let's get the music down, and then we'll switch over and watch these videos real fast. Okay? Okay.
To Write Love on Her Arms started small, about as small as something could. It was a story and an attempt to help one person. It was a MySpace page and a box of t-shirts. Renee's story of finding help was told in a way that was honest. It spread online, between friends and family, across tables under tents at music festivals, and on school campuses. We began to hear how this story reminded people of their own, or their friends, or their family. It gave people permission to be honest about their stories, their struggles, their questions, and their pain. There is a lie we tend to believe, which is that we can't talk about issues such as depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. We've learned that 2 out of 3 people who struggle with depression never get help for it. We know that these are more than numbers. The numbers represent real people, real names and faces. To Write Love on Our Arms grew to become something like a bridge. The goal is to move people from a place of shame and isolation into community, from hopelessness to hope. More than anything, the goal is for people to get the help they need and deserve. We connect people to local mental health resources and provide scholarships so they can receive counseling and professional help. This movement is fueled by thousands of individuals adding their voices to the conversation online and by wearing Twaloha merch. The message of hope and help carried into the daily rhythms and spaces where our stories play out. In homes, over meals, break rooms, and coffee shops, but also elevated and loud, from stages, benefit concerts, and live streams. It all adds up to a force that is stronger than stigma, a growing chorus of hope. Our dream is to live in a world where people everywhere talk openly and honestly about mental health, where we truly believe that it's okay to ask for help. So we will keep showing up in unexpected places. We will keep listening and learning. We will keep seeing people. We will keep serving as a bridge to treatment and recovery. We will keep inviting you to believe better days are ahead. We will keep believing that you make today better. We will keep serving as a visible and vocal reminder that life is worth living.
Come closer. Come into this. Come closer. What beautiful battlefields you are. You are quite the beauty. If no one has ever told you that before, know that right now. You are quite the beauty. There is joy in how your mouth dances with your teeth. Your smile is simply a sign of how sacred your life actually is, so step into it. Come closer. Know that whatever God prays to, He asked of it to make something of worth. He woke from his dreams, scraped soil from the spaces stuck somewhere inside himself. He made you. He made you when He was happy. You make the world happy. Come into this. Come closer. Know that something softer than us, but just as holy, planted pieces of Himself into our feet that we might one day dance our way back. Know that you are almost home. Come just a little bit closer. There are birds beating their wings beneath your breastplates. Gentle sparrows that ache to sing. Come aching hearts. Come soldiers of joy, doormen of truth. Know that my heart was too big for my body, so I let it go. And most days, this world has thinned me to the point where I'm just another cloud, forgetting another flock of swans. But believe me when I tell you that my soul has managed to squeeze itself into such narrow spaces. Place your hand beneath your head when you sleep tonight, and perhaps you will find it there, making beauty as we sleep, as we dream, as we turn over. When we turn over in the ground, may the ghosts that we have asked answers of do that turning, kneading us into crumbs of light and into this thing-loved thing called life. Come into it. Come, you wooden museums, gentle tigers, little giants. I see teacups upside down, glowing across your grins. Your hearts are like my hands. Some days all they do is tremble. I am like you. I'm like you. I too at times am filled with so much fear, but like a hallway must find the strength to walk through it. Walk through this with me. Through this church of blood, bone, and muscle that is our lives. There is a doorknob glowing like chance before you. Grab it, turn and pull, swing. Step through, back straight, chin up, eyes open, hearts loud. Walk through this with me. Walk through this with me. Welcome to Heavy and Light.
There you go, game. And he is, Anis is one of my absolute favorite poets. So that's what we're doing here today. We're raising money for to write Love on Our Arms. And I couldn't be happier to do it. More tears. Oh, geez. Now I've just made chat cry. Dak, yes, I'll post this in Discord as well. Here's the link to Nice's video. And then I'll also throw that up in Discord. Stops cutting onions. Sorry, gang. The whole point is we never talk about it, so we should talk about it. Oh, excuse me. And then I just talked through that burp. Look at my soup. No soup for you. Oh, I also have, I took 2 pictures downstairs while I was waiting for my soup to heat up. Post those in the Discord too. There you go. So these are my 2 plant cuttings from Punk Pixie. I have, so there's Pothos, which is doing great. And then, I think we said this one was Purple Heart. They're both doing fantastic. I'm very proud. I haven't killed them yet. Yeah, this one has a leaf that's about, right here, there's a leaf that's about to unfurl, and then there's another one. An update pic? Yes, please. Want to see. Also, there's my Pearl cat. So Pearl always wants to be on the kitchen counter because she wants to see what you're doing. But the cats know they're not allowed to be on the counter. So there's a cardboard box that's for Pearl cat on the counter. So when I'm cooking, she knows she can sit in that box and watch. But she often naps in it. So that was her trying to figure out what the heck I was doing in the kitchen, interrupting her nap. His words are all the feels I feel for them and can't find the words to convey. Aww. Yarnho, I think you'd like him. He also has a book called The Feather Room. That's a bunch of his published smaller poems that I love very much as well. But he was the first time I'd ever heard of spoken word poetry. I love him very mucho. And congrats on your absolutely lovely family. I'm sorry I'm eating. But if we're going to have a nice long stream today, it has to be done. No getting around it. Also, it makes my chest all warm, literally, from the soup. Soup looks yummy. It is. Did you guys know that Walmart has a market side soup? So it's refrigerated, and then you just heat up this tub, and honestly, it's even better than Panera. Or, as Damien called it, Pantera. When I was sick, Damien's like, Stacy, I'll get you some Pantera bread. And I was like, but I'd like Panera bread more. Also, the Pantera is a tank. And he goes, I love that you know that. And I'm like, I hate that I know this. Newbie knitting question. Yes, please. I'm knitting in a hat in the round. Stockinette. Very simple. But I want to add some stripes of different colors in the middle. Okay. But you don't want to jog? Yeah. What's the best way to have that jog and a weird hole in the middle when changing colors? You slip the first stitch. I'll demonstrate. Happen to have some knitting in the round right here. All right. So pretend, yes, Pearlwise. So pretend that this is the next round, or the start of round, and you're starting your new color. So what you'll do is you'll slip that first stitch purlwise and then knit the color. And then keep knitting and knitting and knitting. And then when you get back to it and you want to switch back, you'll do the same thing. And then, so that slipping that first stitch will help the jog, will help smooth out that jog for you. And then, the hole is usually caused by when you're weaving in the ends. Something doesn't quite line up, so that also helps with that. But basically, slipping that first stitch will fix the jog, and then weaving in the end will fix any holes. Hang on, I'm sure there's an example of this online. Oh, hang on. Lies. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I know what you do. No. Don't do that. I lied. Ginger zone. No, stop. Quick before it's too late. Lies. All right. So it's time to change color. For the first row, just knit the color. Don't slip anything the first row. So pretend this is the first row. So you had all orange, and then you switched to blue. And now you're going back for your first row. And then you slip the first stitch of the new color and then knit. That's how to fix the jog. If you slip the first stitch of the last color, it makes a bigger jog and it scrunches the fabric. I'm sorry. I almost caused a goof. How rude. I know. Rainbow Brights, what kind of keyboard did you get? Do you have a pic of your new fancy keyboard? Want to see the keyboard? All right, let's see. Let's take a quick review of what the damage we've done so far. We're over halfway to our goal today. So our goal is $1,500 for To Write Love on Our Arms. We smashed the first goal in like the first half an hour. Y'all were like out for it. So the $250 goal was a Fall Guys stream. So we're going to have a drunk bean night where I drink wine and play the little drunk Fall Guys. As a bonus. Hinka, $69. We gonna rave it up here in a hot second. You hold on. Thank you for that $69, Bean. Hey. Hey. That's all I can think about now. We're gonna have a Jackbox stream. Community day. Maybe we'll do like a Sunday afternoon bonus stream. It's happening! Hang on, I gotta finish this soup first. Mostly because I took more drugs when I went downstairs and now I have to eat something so they'll kick in. Take your meds, kids. We already unlocked a Hinka String Stacy vacation stream when Hinka and String are down here. All three of us are going to pile in and we're going to do something stupid fun. TBD. You know, Dak, I actually don't have a 56 command. Mostly because I'm cheap and I never sub the bot. I should though. So our next milestone is a Dead by Daylight stream with the wonderful Huntress, who I do adore. But then I have to play a spoopy game. Not looking forward to that. If we get $1,250, I'm going to do a brioche tutorial stream. Everything you needed to know about how to knit brioche. And step by step on stream, we'll be knitting this shawl, the Unicornucopia shawl. It's a unicorn horn, y'all, in brioche to teach ya. It's not that bad. But I don't want to do it, but I am doing it because it's for a good cause. We gotta get that goal. Huntress would love for you to get that goal. And then if we reach our $1,500 mark, I will do another World of Tanks stream, which I do not want to do. But y'all had a blast last time. Peak in general, heck yeah. We'll check that out here in a hot second. Hot second, please hold. Oh no. I have finished my crackers. Excuse me. Yes, here's Hinka's plant progress. So Hinka got the same cuttings of the same plant. Her purple plant is going ham compared to mine. But that pothos isn't doing too bad neither. It's doing pretty good. This is nice, Rainbow. This is really nice. Next one will be built like Damien's. Don't do what Damien does. That guy. I do appreciate the rainbow keyboard for the rainbow. It's very on brand. It's very nice. It's quite nice. Almost done, gang. And then we'll do a dance party for Hinka. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. All right. Dance party time. Dance party, yeah. Yeah, Hinka. You unlocked the dance party. Let me set the scene. Hold on, please. Can I get all my lighting just right? Now I gotta get the music. You ready for this? You ready? No, you cannot have Darude Sandstorm. That's DMCA. We're only DMCA free music. I want to see all the emotes. Let's go. bonus thongs. Yes, please. All emotes. Let's go. Yeah. All right, that's enough of that. Normal mode re-engage. Whoa. Oh, I should have done that one. It's a normal one. Normal. It's one where nothing happens. There we go. I never use. I only have on and off. I never use all those settings. Excuse me. All right, there we go. If you enjoyed that music, thank you Slipstream for providing DMCA dance party music. What's it called when a giraffe swallows a toy jet? A plane in the neck. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No. I'm super warm between the soup and all the dancing. Oh my. I'm gonna hydrate real quick. Oh no, stuck in rave mode. Almost. Almost. This keyboard is great. Just reclaimed 60% of my desk space, and the key response is amazing. Damien gave me his old keyboard to use for my work computer here. And it was funny because he's like, why is that keyboard so loud? And I was like, dude, you used to game on this every night. And he goes, did I? And I was like, yes. But the tactile response is great. Oh my. Okay, back to knitting. Enough of that nonsense. Damien had a loud keyboard. Everything about Damien's stream used to be loud. Oh, the loudest keyboard. It's covered in knitting right now, but otherwise I would clack for you. Yeah, he used to have a super loud keyboard, and then he got a sort of kind of loud keyboard, and then he built his own keyboard. Hank and my love, thank you again for those $69. And that sweet, sweet dance party. Sweat out that Rona. I am feeling it a little bit more than I would like to admit. Because I just ate a shit ton of hot soup. And then I'm like, oh man, I am still a little sick. He has a stream of keyboard noises that he plays when I get on a typing roll. He does. Yes, he does. He also used to play those typing ones when he would write letters to the World of Tanks, like opening up a ticket. He has, Damien, you have to find it. Damien once opened up a fake ticket in World of Tanks, that his office was too warm and that he wanted a fan. Damien, I need you to find this clip. It's the only thing that will make me feel better. It's the only thing that can save me. That and more cowbell, and there's no cowbell here. Also, I keep wanting to like, whew, but I have a enlightenment. My third eye is there. Don't want to get sweat in my eye. C Playa, how you doing, my dude? I hope you're doing well. You're hanging out and doing the thing. Now I want some soup. You should get some soup. It's very nice. Is there a redeem for $56? There isn't, but I'm very willing to take if you donate for $56. I will take requests. I will happily accommodate. Or I'll tell the $56 story again. Sing? I am too sick to sing, though, unfortunately. Too sick to sing. Mostly because I can't take a deep breath without coughing, so singing just sounds like maybe not the best idea. Maybe not the best idea. Anybody catch the new Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power episode last night? I did not get a chance to watch it. Damien did on stream. And then I heard him loudly shouting spoilers at 2 a.m. And me texting him that he owed me money for emotional damage. Emotional damage. Damien, where's that clip? Chop chop lollipop. Let's go. I'm looking for it. What an old man on the internet. There may or may not be a stupid amount of clips. Dak, thank you for the $56. There is an error. It's not showing me the message that was part of your donation. So if there was a message, please feel free to type it in chat. The story of 56? I would love to tell you the story of 56. Chop chop lollipop? I say that a lot. He hates it. I also like to yell at him to put some pep in his step. That all goes over how you think it goes over, which is to say not. Guys, I can't believe I made this yarn and I'm knitting it. It's just great. Go to the bathroom. That's not me. And Damien, everyone thinks that that's me saying that soundbite in Damien's stream, and it's not. All right. So, once upon a time, Damien and I were on vacation in St. Augustine. Everyone swears it is, but it's not. It's not me. It's not me. So we were in the lovely town of St. Augustine, America's oldest city. Allegedly. And we stopped by a place called the Tea and Spice Exchange. And I was like, ooh, great. I love tea. Maybe there'll be something nice to get as like a memento. So we go inside and there's all sorts of teas and spices and things, and nothing has a price. And I ask them about it and they go, well, it's based upon weight and different things have different prices. If there's anything you're interested in, just let me know and we'll get it weighed up and I'll get you an estimate. And I was like, oh, okay. So there was this one tea. It was warm bread pudding black tea. And it smelled amazing. And I was like, I'd love to try this. And they're like, oh, well, how much would you like? And I was like, well, maybe 4 ounces. And they're like, well, 8 ounces is the better deal if you think you're really going to like it. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. 8 ounces. And the girl's like, great. If you want to head up to the register, I'll get this weighed up for you. And I was like, cool. So not 50 pounds, 8 ounces, a half pound. So I go up to and this is a heavy tea. So 8 ounces is not very much at all. So I go up to the counter and I'm like, I'd like to buy this tea scoop. And this other girl is weighing up my tea for me. And she goes, great. Let's go ahead and if you don't mind, I'll have you pay for the tea scoop now. And then when she comes back with the tea, we'll bring up the tea. And I was like, great, fine. So I got the tea scoop and it was like $7. And I was like, great, that's a normal amount. And I'm looking around and like, it's a little bit more expensive, like a boutique tea shop. But I'm like, but everything's fairly okay priced. So the girl brings up the tea and she goes, here you go. I've got your tea. And I was like, great. And the woman rings it up and she goes, that'll be 56. And I go, 56? Top of my lungs. Everyone in the store freezes, turns to look at me. And I lean in and I go, $56? And the girl's like, yeah. And I go, 56 for tea? And she goes, yeah. And I go, $56 for 8 ounces of tea. Like, I cannot wrap my mind around this. And the girl's like, didn't she tell you the price before she weighed it? And I said, no. And she goes, it's really good tea. And I'm like, I bet it's amazing tea, but I'm on a budget. And the girl's just looking at me like, shit, this woman's gonna cause a scene. And I'm like, don't be that girl. Don't be that girl. Don't be that girl. So the poor girl's like, well, if you really want some, we could get you a smaller size. And I was like, well, how much is 1 ounce? Like, what kind of size are we talking here? And the girl's like, well, I mean, if you just want a sampler, we can get you like a 1 ounce bag. And I said, how much is a 1 ounce bag? And she's like, $7.56. And I was like, sure, I'll get 1 ounce of tea. And she goes, I mean, it's really good. Maybe you'll like it. And I was like, maybe. I hated everything. And here it is.